This information, if revealed, will stir questions that the powers that be would never want you to ask, because it could overturn everything we know about history and the control of great forces. Can you imagine? A story about the origins of humanity, a creation story that spans not just thousands of years, as we have been taught, but tens of thousands of years. A story buried in darkness by the powers that govern the world. A story in which the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Quran each hold their own distinct versions. Yet, each version contains hidden secrets, coded passages that cannot be deciphered, things they do not want you to know. This story is not an invention of the existing religions, but a deep intervention into the course of history. When we think of Adam, the one we believe to be the ancestor of humanity, we only see a small fragment of a much larger and more complex story.
The truth is, Adam was not the first to understand the story of humankind. To uncover the truth, we must go back thousands of years and explore the most ancient traces, from civilizations long forgotten to brush away the dust of time and find our true origins. In Zecharia Sitchin's book, The 12th Planet, the story of the 12th planet, Nibiru, is one of the most shocking pieces of evidence that challenges modern scientific understanding. Nibiru, a planet orbiting a brown dwarf star, has been proven to exist through the latest scientific discoveries. And this is not just a far-fetched hypothesis. So how does this planet relate to us? The answer lies within the ancient creation story that Sitchin uncovered. We must return to the ancient Sumerian tablets, which contain records of a world that existed before the emergence of the Abrahamic religions. These are mysterious texts that only a few can comprehend. The Sumerian tablets are not merely ancient inscriptions, but clues to deciphering a lost chapter of human history. And within them, you will encounter a name that has been mentioned across many ancient civilizations: Anunnaki. These are extraterrestrial beings, referred to as those who came from heaven, a place where heaven is not a religious realm, but a mystical expanse beyond Earth. The Anunnaki, though not gods, played a crucial role in reshaping life on Earth. Zecharia Sitchin dedicated his entire life to studying these beings, and his discoveries could change everything we thought we knew about the past. In another video, I will delve deeper into this story, but for now, let's explore the creation story from the Sumerian tablets, where the Anunnaki, these extraterrestrial beings, were not just powerful deities, but also conquerors, resource extractors. They did not come here merely to observe. They came to mine, and that led to a monumental shift in the course of history. The labor they demanded from other beings on Earth was called jiggi, a task that was extremely exhausting and grueling. These beings, after a long period of relentless toil, eventually rebelled against the ruling class of the Anunnaki. And from there, the story of humankind began. When Anu, the supreme king of the Anunnaki, along with his sons Enlil and Enki, decided to intervene in the evolution of Earth's beings, they created Homo sapiens, the human species as we know it today. But are we entirely their creation? Or are we merely a part of a vast migration plan that the Anunnaki carried out? These beings were not the true creators of humanity, despite their cunning efforts to disguise themselves as supreme gods. They were not untouchable supernatural entities, but tangible beings, visible and perceptible, yet worshipped as deities for thousands of years. The frightening truth is that these beings continue to influence us to this day, through forms of divinization that no one dares to question. And the brutal reality that modern science is beginning to uncover is that our DNA exhibits an abnormal alteration, a sudden shift so drastic that natural evolution alone cannot explain it. The gap between Homo erectus and Homo sapiens is an immense chasm, and once again, this is no coincidence. In the 12th planet, Zecharia Sitchin pointed out that our evolution was not a gradual process, but an extraordinary leap, a sudden change that humanity could not have achieved on its own. For 2 million years, humans advanced in small steps, from using raw stone tools to recognizing the ability to shape and craft them. So why didn't it take us another 2 million years to discover other materials, and another 10 million years to master mathematics, engineering, and astronomy? The reality is, it took us less than 50,000 years from the time of the Neanderthals to sending astronauts to the moon. This clearly cannot be explained by the theory of natural evolution. The question is, did humans and our ancestors in the Mediterranean region truly develop this great civilization on their own, or was there intervention from an external force? The sudden emergence of Homo sapiens, as if we had been created in a laboratory, could not have been a purely natural evolutionary process. It should have taken millions of years for Homo erectus to evolve into Homo sapiens through a slow evolutionary process. But clearly, that did not happen. And this mystery, for modern science, still has no satisfactory explanation. Even more intriguing, the ancient Sumerian tablets also tell a creation story that took place around 200,000 years ago, which eerily coincides with the emergence of Homo sapiens. According to the Sumerian tablets, around 450,000 years ago, the Anunnaki arrived on Earth. And is that just a coincidence? I don't think so. This is the only story that can explain the missing gaps in evolutionary theory and the sudden appearance of Homo sapiens. We are not the product of natural evolution, but the result of a deliberate genetic intervention. An intervention carried out in an ancient Garden of Eden where control was imposed from an era so distant that we can scarcely imagine it. And this is the most terrifying part. The Garden of Eden, as we know it from the Bible, is not a religious myth, but a historical reality originating from the Sumerian tablets. Eden, the place where the Anunnaki conducted genetic modifications on pre-existing humanoid beings, was where they created Homo sapiens, an intelligent species, not born to evolve independently, but to serve the Anunnaki's mining operations. And Adam, the first human, was actually created from a blend of Anunnaki essence and humanoid beings, giving rise to Homo sapiens. This essence could very well be their genetic material, which explains why we have so much junk DNA, inactive genetic sequences. The reality is, these sequences were disabled and modified. Our chromosomes were cut and reassembled in a bizarre manner, as if we were a product of genetic engineering, a being not entirely natural. This was not a natural phenomenon, but a deep mystery, buried within the layers of time. The abnormalities in human DNA only add credibility to the creation stories recorded in the ancient Sumerian tablets. It is astonishing that the Garden of Eden, the place believed to have given birth to the first humans with the ability to think, Adamu bears an almost identical name to Adam in modern sacred texts. This is not merely a coincidence, but a powerful reminder of the deep connection between ancient civilizations and our present-day legends. As I shared in the beginning of this video, I want you to reflect on these ideas because they will make you question the systems and religions we follow today. This also contributes to weakening the mechanisms of control that powerful forces have imposed upon the masses. We are not alone in this vast universe, and governments around the world know this very well. Do not allow yourself to be deceived by their lies, for they have always known the truth. Mainstream scientists are also well aware of these discoveries, yet they deliberately deny them so that you never realize the truth hidden behind these veils. If you can erase humanity's true origins, you can control them in any way you wish. There is an abundance of information about extraterrestrial beings that I believe will change the way you perceive the world today. These truths may lead you to question religious beliefs that have been shaped for thousands of years. That is why I will reveal these things gradually, so that you can explore and conclude for yourself. However, if you open your mind and read the mainstream scriptures from a completely new perspective, through the lens of the Sumerian tablets that have existed for thousands of years, you will realize how severely incomplete they are. My goal is not to anger you, but to help you see things that you were perhaps never meant to know for a certain reason. I simply want you to assess the truth based on what you will discover. Beyond the Abrahamic religions, all ancient cultures believed they had a deep connection to the stars. Every civilization has stories of brothers from the heavens. Yet mainstream media and the scientific community constantly attempt to deny this because they want to control your perception and prevent you from uncovering the truth about yourself. Receive the messages in this video with an open mind, or skepticism if you wish, but I encourage you to do your own research. I believe that after delving deeper, you will come to the same conclusions as I have,